Fuck COVID. I ain't beeping that one out.
Yeehaw!
Alright. Some of you may recognize this machine. This is my brother's machine, our official ding 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 sponsor. We've used it a few times down at the mountain. I don't know if you recall in the first video, it didn't have this big custom arch in it, and it had a windshield. So after we used it the first time, my brother took it out on his annual Thanksgiving ride down in Kentucky, and well, in his own words, he don't have a good story for it. He hit a damn tree. If I find the picture of it, I'll put it in the video here somewhere. But just a tree, just like your elbow sticking out in the trail, except a big elbow. Bam. So fortunately he's got good harnesses in it rather than regular seat belts, and his daughter was here. Nobody got hurt. A little bruised up and stuff. But one good story of this is, and it goes along with what he does, and that's insurance. So here's a little shout out to him, because he insured his machine. So if you got one of these things, you may want to talk to him about it. But they totaled the machine. It's a 2018, and most of you guys know these things are $15,000, $20,000 machines even back then. Which, well, back then, 2 years ago, whatever. Yeah, they paid it off. So fortunately for me and the Hunting for Dummies team, it was totaled, and my brother bought it back from the insurance company, and he's already got his new one picked out down at CCM, and they're decking it out with all the options he wants. But I bought this for my brother. So yeah, we got all kinds of hillbilly confuckery going on here. But as you can see, the frame is, that's why it was totaled, is the frame. This upright, before it gets to the cage, is all one piece down here, the entire chassis. A lot of money for that, plus the labor and everything else, and all the little miscellaneous parts they were going to replace to go along with it, totaled it out. But I bought a new piece to go there, because the roll cage is in sections. So I got that section there, it's bent. A couple other items that were needed. New windshield, obviously, because yeah, that sucks, not having a windshield. As you can see, that main beam there is pulled back, which has tweaked the dash back and some other stuff. Yeah, obviously you can see the door is a little low, because that piece there is a little errant. So we're going to straighten that out. Stay tuned. Okay. It's been a little bit yet. I had to take a break. I'm past COVID, but I still got a lot of lingering crap, like no damn energy. I had to take a break. But yeah, things are getting tight around here. More ways than one. So we're made a little progress here. A lot better than it was so far, but we still got a little ways to go. Still got a little ways to go. Yeah, a little way. Everything's still happy so far everywhere else. Yeah, we'll be back for more fun and excitement if I survive. Yeehaw. Okay, things are getting, see the gap's getting a little closer. Now I'm doing it the way I'm doing it because I want to use the suspension of the vehicle to try to help from racking the frame any more than it is, because I want to straighten this out, but I don't want to twist. I don't want to put a twist in it. Otherwise I'd put some blocks under here and that would take the suspension out of the picture, but I don't want to do that. I want the suspension to help keep the machine from twisting, if that makes sense. So far so good. The door actually will close now, but we're not quite there yet because the door is a little tweaked, as you can see, which we can straighten out. Ain't no biggie, but that is going to drop this down a little bit more, and there's still a gap there, so we're going to go till there's close to no gap. The door's a little high, and we're going to hold this new frame section up and see what it looks like from mount to mount. And yeah, Banjo ain't got shit on this. Alright, I'm taking a break. Goodbye. Okay, I've caught my breath now. Alright, right now it's sitting exactly where it needs to be, dimensionally. Yeah. She's taut. That's taut. From the front, we're looking pretty sassy here. Looking pretty good. Yeah, it's not looks pretty well lined up. A lot of my concern was pulling it this way over there rather than just straight, and I know it pulled it in some when it hit the tree, but I think we got her where it needs to be right now. So let's walk around this death trap here. Yeah, the come along ain't meant for the load it's seeing right now. So the door's bent a little bit. We know that it needs to come down some. Right now we're high. If I get down there, okay, there's where we're even. So we're high, and fixing that bend will take care of that. So now we need to make sure, because when we let off this, it's going to come back. So we're going to have to go a little bit further with it, and then keep coming until the hysteresis brings us back where it's supposed to be. But yeah, we're getting close. And you know I've done the back. I don't know if I showed that or not. Yeah, chained to a tree. But we're on a ball in the receiver, and we're kind of at an angle. It's going to have to be at an angle because of the way we're pulling on it. But putting it around that ball doesn't take all the side load out of twisting the frame, but what it does, it gives you 2 points rather than if I was to prop this up right here, I'd be a lot more efficient at bending that. But then holding the back here, it would be trying to hold that frame down, and we would end up tweaking the whole frame as we bent this forward. So we would do two things. We'd cause other damage then rather than just fixing this. So that's why I'm letting the suspension take that torsional force, because the rear tire on that side is almost off the ground. This one's smashed down a little bit. Tire's a little you can see it in the tire. I mean, ideally you'd want to put this thing down, you'd want to put it on a steel table or a steel floor, and you want to mount all four corners down here and then pull on that. We don't have that option right here. So far all the other doors are opening and closing just the way they should, and right now it's at where it needs to be. So we're gonna have to go a little further and come back, but this is the way I could think of to do it without tweaking the rest of the frame. So I guess you probably know what I'm talking about, but the easiest way to explain it is to be taking the frame and like twisting it that way, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to avoid, and so far we avoided doing that. So yeah. Oh, fuck, COVID sucks. Yeah, this crap hurts a lot. It works a lot better when I hit record. That's 2 minutes wasted. Okay, so the door's shut. We got I wouldn't say the heaviest tension we've had, but we got some pretty moderate tension on it right now. We're about from center line of this post right here, center line to center line of this bottom bolt hole on the new piece is 43 1/8, and right now we're about 44 1/2. I've had it out to 45, brought it back, and it still goes past 43. So there's a lot of hysteresis in that thing. So I've went back and forth with it, pulling. I don't want to fatigue the metal any more than I already have, or it's already been fatigued. There's a lot of structure in there, so I don't really think I'm hurting anything. But right now I'm gonna leave it where it's at. We've got the door latched and pulled on it, which is straightening the door out fairly decent. So we're doing two things. We're going to relax some of that hysteresis a little bit more. The door, I'm going to have to heat it eventually and straighten it out a little bit. That's no biggie. A little hinge adjustment, some heat, get the bend out of it. It'll be fine. All the other doors right now, we haven't racked anything. Everything is working just easy peasy, smooth as wheezy something. I don't know. No tweaks back here. Ran tape measure all the suspension. Nothing's bent back there, which is good. That was my biggest fear. But yeah, doors. The driver's door had a little hiccup in it, and it doesn't have a hiccup in it anymore. So yeah, we got her where we want her. So it's got to come back about, I don't know, 1 3/8. Easy math. But I think what we'll do is we'll get that top piece off, and the hysteresis that is left in it back when we get it down to 43 1/8 isn't going to be too much, and that bar will hold it. And after it lives that way for a while, it'll be fine. So we'll get it back down to that position when we put that new bar in and bolt it up, and everything should be good to go. Obviously that's a little, yeah, because that's straight, so you can see how it racked it pretty good. But all these things, all the braces and supports up here they're all in great shape. They're not bent, they're just pulled down. But yeah, if you look along that roof line, you can see where that upper bar there, it's bent right at that joint, which is all part of the new piece, so that's good. So yeah, I'll probably let it sit overnight like this, since if I don't go lay down, I'm gonna end up in the hospital. But yeah, stay tuned. It's pretty cool though. Felt like I was dying earlier, so I went and lay on the floor. Just happened to look outside, and there's 3 deer in the pond. So our neighborhood deer came to visit as soon as I went inside. Went over there and ate some of that eating on some of that pumpkin, messing around. So, had good times. But, yeah, at the end of this video, I'll have my brother's information in there, but I mean, even Fubar's got a tractor, and he went ahead and insured that thing. So, I mean, if you got stuff like this, he can find an insurance company that'll take care of it. And I really don't think it's that much money. I'm probably going to get a little liability policy on it or something. I don't know if I can get a full coverage policy on it with it being a salvage title. But, well, I don't know. We'll go through that deal. But either way, I'll probably get a liability policy on it in case I plow into somebody's truck or something. You never know. That's it for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Hopefully I've got a little less energy, or a little more energy rather, but I'd say that I'm probably going to have less. So I'll get Nathan out here to help me, and we'll get some Allen wrenches, we'll get them bolts out, get that piece out, get the new one set in there, and at least get the structure back together straight, and then everything else will fall into place. If it don't, we'll put it in place. Yeah, goodbye. Alright, it's been about 2 hours. I don't want to leave that much tension on it overnight, so we're going to let a little bit of tension out of it. Leave about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch of tension past where it's supposed to be, and then we'll go from there. We'll let her sit overnight with about 3/4 of an inch of it being that much further than it needs to be, and see what it's like tomorrow. But yeah, fun. Okay, so it's sat overnight. This is day 2, actually, like day, I don't know, day 4 or 5. Is one day was bringing the chains and straps back here from the truck, and that wore me out. The next day was, I don't know, man, I think it was a day in between that, but then it took a day to get the machine over here in place and get the chains and straps on it. Then I was toast for the day. And then yeah, you seen the video. I didn't start videoing anything until I started pulling on it. So there's a couple days there ain't on film, but all right. Now we're gonna try to get this piece out of here and get the new one in. You can see, oh God, all these braces are just, they're held on by some head bolts, and then all this here where the seat belts and these crossbars are. Gotta get all that off of it, and then we'll see if we can pick that up off there. I don't know how. I imagine that's probably at least up to there, but we'll see. Stay tuned. Yeehaw. Alright, so we're making progress. We got these 2 beams off, and we got all the seat belt and center beams off. So now we need to get that bolt out, and those 2. But it's break time. COVID sucks ass. Alright, that's quite a difference. Yeah, making progress. Got this where it needs to be now in relation to that. So we've got all the trim and the dash panels back where it goes, all the screws and retainers in, clips, all that crap. And I asked you to get this thing back in here. Didn't come out real easy, but I guess when you're bent, you're not supposed to. We'll see. Door's a little high, just like it should be right now until we get that straightened out. So, all right. Time for another break. Okay, so after many breaks and naps and everything else, it is structurally finished now. Just got, I don't know, just some miscellaneous stuff, wires, stuff to fix, put the windshield on it, tighten a few things up here and there. But, yeah, it's all reassembled and put back in there. And Squirrel's excited. He's barking up a storm. He's happy about it, so I'm glad he's happy. So door's getting pretty straight. It opens and closes. It's not too bad. Everything came back together pretty good. So now it's just basically cosmetic stuff and some little wiring fixes on some of the aftermarket stuff that's been put on it. But I've done a lot of measuring on it, and everything seems to be square and back where it needs to be. I mean, everything's within, God, probably 3/16 of an inch. And I mean, if it's much better than that from the factory, it surprised me. But what did surprise me is how stout this thing is. The amount of force it took to bring that thing back out. This thing is, I'm really impressed. Yamaha did a good job. And I don't know, some of you guys may want to know why I didn't heat it, but obviously there's a lot of plastic on here, but there's also a lot of structure that would have to be heated. Back behind all this, it all goes in here to a main bulkhead. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but that bar that we were pulling on has got a lot of other structure mounted to it. So just heat this out here on this corner here wouldn't really help me a whole lot. I mean, it helped me a little bit, but it would probably make that twist more than just pull straight back. And otherwise, I'd have to take a whole bunch of crap off to not melt a bunch of stuff. So that's why I did it the way I did it. And yeah, I'll put a little blurb here at the end of the video for my brother. So there's a totaled X4 that's no longer total, and fortunately, you know, it was hit up high, not down low. That would have made it a lot more expensive to repair, obviously, but fortunate nobody was hurt when it got totaled, and fortunate for me and my brother both that it got hit where it got hit and took it as well as it did. So yeah, that's it for this video. Yeah, subscribe, like, share, whatever, all that stuff. You never know what the heck we're going to record on here. So till next time, goodbye.
Hi there, this is Chris Newport with Farmers Insurance. I hope you enjoyed this most recent episode on hunting for dummies. Hopefully you got a little bit of educational tips out of it, if not, at least a good laugh. Would love to talk to you and go over your insurance coverages with you, make sure you got the right coverages for the right price, see if we might be able to help you out and maybe even save you a little bit of money while we're at it. Feel free to give me a call at 937-519-3300. Thank you and have a great day, and I'll see you on the next episode.